The building that we're working on, it is a multifamily building for House of Ruth. It's one of the largest domestic violence association organizations in Washington, D.C., and their reach into the community that has been helping women who've been victims of domestic violence it's amazing. And this project, we not only get to help one family, but we get to help 13. Design is about people, and the people and the women that we are working with through House of Ruth are just exceptional, to say the least. We took these women through the entire design process, and this is something they weren't familiar with. And what was exciting about it is seeing them become engaged in the design process and the things that went along with that. When we originally approached the women or House of Ruth, and we went to introduce ourselves to these women and these families, they kind of didn't see the point. They didn't see the need. And one of the things I love about being in design is educating people on the power of design and the way it can impact the human spirit and healing. And these women, they're survivors, and they're deserving, to say the least. So when we introduced the project to them, they weren't as enthusiastic. But to me, that was okay. I wanted to rise to the challenge of showing them how their spaces can affect their day-to-day life. And through one of those meetings, we came to our design concept. It was a little bit of a push and pull, but the process that we ended up with, one of the women, they said, we want a waterfall concept. And I said, perfect, I can run with that. And we created this concept around the idea of a waterfall, but it ended up being a very poignant and serendipitous concept, because when you think of the idea of what a waterfall really is, it sometimes starts out as this rocky and rough stream, and then it kind of has this forward momentum and this progression and this kind of rough journey down to a plateau where you kind of transition into smoother waters, into smoother territory. And that's what these women are doing at the House of Ruth. House of Ruth is assisting these women in the forward progression of their lives, leaving a violent situation so they can progress and their families can progress. So for the women, we took this concept of the waterfall, and it had to translate both ways. It had to translate into this oasis and this lounge and this haven for these women to go to when they leave their apartments. A place where they can just kind of relax, and that same idea had to translate into what we call the kids room, or the multi-purpose room. And when we thought about waterfalls and how they relate to kids, it kind of came to this thing of a rainbow. You have the most tropical and dynamic settings, you always see this rainbow, and again, it's kind of this momentum starting from one point ending at another, but there's this kind of faint vibrancy that's always there. So we wanted to bring all those elements into this project, and we were able to design a space that we feel that reflects forward progression for these women, for their children, and